question.
Yeah. Well, we had a great summer, really good summer in July. I thought we've focused heavily on offense and skill development for our players, and I think it's we're seeing progress in a lot of areas for the guys and improvement, and we're transitioning to more season mode now and team-oriented drills and defense and things that you talk about a lot, especially the first few weeks of practice. So, been really impressed with the group. We're relatively healthy right now going in, which is a real plus, and we're just really excited. And we have a long weekend ahead of us this coming weekend for the guys, very physically and taxing as it should be in the opening weekend, but very optimistic. Love working with the group, great group of kids, and just excited to get started.
Is there one aspect, Coach, that really feels much better today than it did even just a month or 2 months ago?
I just think these guys are very push button, and that's always comforting. I always get positive energy when I walk in the gym with them. I feel like they want to be here and they're embracing the work that we're putting in, and I like the balance that our team has. I think that we have a solid core of front court players that I feel great about, and then we have the good depth on the perimeter. So it's it's a really great balance. I trust all 9 guys really to have a good role on our team this year.
Do you know roles right now just based off what you've seen without a basic team concept out there?
Yeah, I have an idea of how we're going to play and what some of our strengths are. I think our mobility is a strength, particularly with our front court players. Eric Jacobson is down 25 pounds from when he first weighed in, and he's been all over the offensive glass and workouts and changing ends of the floor at a great pace, and so he's improving. He's facing up and doing some things he might not have done here in the past. So he's been very impressive, and obviously we know what Savon can do with his motor, and these guys are in great physical condition. I think we can play the type of pace that I look to play, as long as we could take care of the ball and learn to do that successfully.
Where are you guys at as far as kind of installing your offense and that type of thing?
We're going to spend probably 25% of our reps this weekend. Will be trying to put our offense in, and more likely than not, our offense should be behind our defense as we would even head into the season. It's a lot for the guys to pick up. I don't expect them or want to do that at this point with our team, and I've never done it in the past. It's more about the development of our players and their skill levels at this time of year. But this weekend we'll do it. It'll be more focused on our defense and rebounding, because those are the things that are very important to winning basketball games.
What was your thinking behind having Eric lose the weight?
Just that I don't think that Eric is really sacrificing, bulk or strength in the post, but he's also adding things to his game, and he's going to be able to run the court and play a quicker, a more up-tempo style, and I've noticed that he's just a lot more agile, just getting to offensive rebounds, and his footwork looks terrific. So I think he feels good about where he is physically too, which is always important for guys to have that confidence.
A lot of these guys are recruited by another coach. How do you get them to kind of play the style you want to play?
I just think some of it is credibility and what you do with the guys day in and day out, and if they trust that they're getting better and they're making progress. And I haven't talked to the guys about playing games in the 50s, and if I have to try and coach a game and win a game in the 50s, I'll do that. But we're talking about playing more of a quicker tempo, which is going to get more possessions of offense for the guys. So it's I think it's what players like to do, and they've been terrific with the transition. They've never resisted anything that we're trying to teach these guys.
How do you feel about the recruiting and also getting to know the community here as far as the high school coaches and things like that? How's that going?
I mean, recruiting is great. I'm happy what we got, done in the spring. Just because at this level, there's not a lot of guys available in April that are really going to impact the program, and I think that we were able to bring 3 guys in that we really believe in, that I think will be contributors this year. Obi Aleka, Andre Spite, and Mauricio Field are all going to, have a significant role in this year's team, and then just moving forward, having a guy like Shannon Evans sitting out and what he means to everything we do in practice, just preparing our guys for this year, and he's an all Pac-12 guard. He'll be sitting out, and then Torian Graham is another very explosive guy. So, we got all that done. I can't comment on anything else that's happened really since then because the guys aren't signed yet. So.
What are your expectations for Savon?
I think Savon could take another step, and his numbers were good last year statistically, and his motor is outstanding, and we have to get the free throw situation figured out with him, and we'll spend a lot of time with him so that happens. But I think statistically he could be in a position to make another jump.
What do you like about Cody Justice's game specifically?
Cody, it was a little bit frustrating for both of us just because he was very limited through a lot of the summer, but he's catching up quick, and I really like what he brings to the table on offense. Got great skills, could really shoot, and shooting is something that's important for us to keep the spacing we need on the court. So he's proven that he could do that, and I like how he's moving off the bounce. He's deceptively quick and good with the ball, so he's been doing well.
As a guard, do you see any of your own game when you played in him?
I just think we're not the same. I mean, I was obviously several inches smaller than him, and just he's a better shooter than me. I mean, there are things that are different. I like his confidence. He believes in himself, and that's a really great thing to have. Great trait.
Where does Trey need to show some growth?
I just think Trey, as a lot of freshman guards go through, is you don't feel like it's your team. You're trying to fit in. How do I fit in on this team? And he's got to try and assume control and a leadership role and continue to develop those things. Consistency with his shooting, and we've noticed that area of his game is improving. And I mean, he's great in pick and rolls, and that's something that we run quite a few ball screens, and that's one of his strengths, and that's exciting to coach.
With some of your scholarship players out this year, is there any concerns about lack of depth?
I mean, like I said earlier, I believe in the 9 guys, that I would have no hesitation of putting those guys on the floor, and I would expect that they would all have a good role in our team. The only area as a coach, because you're always thinking about what could go wrong, and you never feel great about anything, or I don't at least. The potential hope that everyone stays healthy, and that would be probably my biggest concern.
How critical has Shannon been to kind of bring your values and your mindset and your playing style from Buffalo and kind of spread it throughout this team?
Yeah, I mean, he's just special kid. The qualities he has, intangible qualities. Forgetting about his physical talent, it's his attitude, his charisma, the way he plays, his toughness, all these things. I hope that everyone watches and sees what he does day in and day out, and that would have some impact on some other guys.
Jerry Blake's kind of put on a show at the Drew League this summer. Did he approach you about playing in that? What do you think that experience did for him?
I mean, I'm always supportive of my guys, wanting the best competition, and Jerry has really attacked this off season. Like he's on a mission. I think he wants to be recognized, in the conference for what he's going to do individually, and he's very focused on us winning. And he's a guy that echoes things that I talk about. So like he and I are very connected right now. I just like his toughness, and I like that he's a fierce competitor, and those are great things to have from a guy.
Coach, how's that been blending with your new staff you put together?
I love my staff. It's I think it's a good mix. It's guys that I've known, that I've had relationships with. So, you know, Levi Watkins, you know, was with me at Buffalo for 2 years, did an outstanding job both recruiting and working with our front court players, and he worked directly with 2 player of the years in my conference, and that gives me more of a chance to work with my perimeter guys. And then I add a guy like Rashawn Burno, who you know, was at Florida the last 3 years with Billy Donovan, and just gaining a different perspective of how, you know, a terrific program is run, and just getting his ideas. And he was a point guard that played at DePaul at a high level, so we're almost making a strength, which is working with perimeter guys even stronger by bringing a guy like Rashawn in. And you know, Brian Merritt is, you know, I don't think he sleeps. He's got the phone attached to his ear, and he's really working hard and recruiting for us. So, you know, I'm really pleased with my staff.
Now that you have the staff and the schedule and everything in place, so you're at that point where you're like, okay, let's just start playing some games at least to see what these guys can do against another group of guys and so on.
Yeah, I mean, it's a process and it's a journey, and believe me, the last thing I want to do is play a game tomorrow. There's still, like, for all the stuff we've done and how good I feel about each guy individually, we have a lot of work ahead of us. Just, you know, focusing on defense and rebound and things that we were good at Buffalo, that we need to, you know, take a real blue-collar approach to wanting to take pride in playing that end of the floor, and then just putting in a whole system. You know, it's going to take time for these guys to learn, you know, what we're doing offensively.
A lot has been made of the schedule, the non-conference schedule. How can that help?
And I think it's games that our players want to play in. As competitors and as guys that want to play at the next level, you want to play the best, and you know, we want to challenge ourselves. We feel like you know, NCAA tournament committee respects teams that go out there and play the best possible opponents, and you know, I think it has it helps you positively when you go to Pac-12 play. Just having, you know, testing yourself the way we're going to test ourselves in the non-conference.